There's a game called Camel Up. Camel Up, you are betting on camel races. Simple, whoever has the most money at the end of the game is going to be your winner. There's a few things to set up the board that are explained in the rulebook, but I will point out everyone's going to be a certain character, which is this very small face at the top of these cards. And you're going to get a set of cards where each card represents a different color camel, specific to your gambler. You're also going to get one of these desert tiles right here with your gambler's face on it. These 5 camels are the ones who are racing around the board. They are going around here, and this is your finish line right past the 16 number spots. Different dice are going to move different camels around the board, and you're going to be betting on which one is going to win both individual legs of the race, but also the race as a whole. So on your turn, you can do one of 4 things. First thing you can do is you can roll a die. So your dice are inside this pyramid, which takes a painstaking amount of labor to construct. You shake up that pyramid, you put it down on the board, you slide this forward, a die will pop out, you let go, pull it up, and it reveals a number die. In this case, it's an orange 3. So we take our orange camel, we move him 3 spots forward. If you ever get a die roll for, let's say, orange in this case, 3, any camels that are on top of that camel are also going to come with it. So the rulebook calls it a camel unit, is going to move 3 spaces. Whereas the camels that are beneath it are going to stay where they are. Whenever a camel lands on a new space, it's going to go on top of the camels that are already there. If at any point you have to determine which camel's in first, and there are multiple camels on the same spot, the camel that's at the top of that stack is going to be the one that is technically in first. Whenever you roll a die, you get one of these cards right here. This is going to be worth a coin at the end of the round, or an Egyptian pound. And then you're going to take that die and you're going to put it on the tent of that color. Second thing you can possibly do on your turn is you can bet on which camel you think is going to win this leg of the race. So we've got these stacks of 3 cards for each different color camel. When you do this, you take the card that's at the top of the stack for whichever one you think is going to win the leg. So if I thought yellow was going to win the leg, I would take this card. You'll see this symbol on here. This means that if yellow comes in first for this leg, I get 5 pounds. If it comes in second, I get 1 pound. If it comes in third, fourth, or fifth, I'm actually going to lose a pound. So whenever you take the top card, it's worth 5. The second person to take a card from that pile is only going to get 3 pounds if that camel finishes first, 1 if it finishes second, -1 if it finishes one of the other spots. And then the third person to take it is going to get 2 pounds if it finishes first. So the earlier you take one of these cards, you have less information about how likely that camel is to win that leg. But the payoff is you can potentially win more money. You could theoretically take multiple cards for the same camel, in which case you would increase how much money you have on the line for that camel. You could take multiple cards for different camels. So you're betting on multiple camels to potentially win that leg of the race. The third thing you can do on your turn is you can place one of these desert tiles. The way a desert tile works, let's say I place it here. If a camel lands on this spot, this symbol down here that says +1 means you're then going to move that camel forward an additional spot. And this coin with an arrow going to me, or going to your character, means that you get an Egyptian pound from the bank and add it to your collection of money. The other thing you can do is you could place it on the other side. So this side is the oasis side. This side is the mirage side. If you place it here, the camel goes back a unit if they land on it. When they go back a unit, because they're going backwards, they go underneath whatever camels are already on that spot. And then you get a coin because they landed on that spot, just like you did if it was on the other side. So one thing you can do is you can place a desert tile somewhere you want on the board. The only rules are you can't place it on the number 1 spot, and you can't place it in a spot that's immediately adjacent to a desert tile that's already on the board. If you've already placed your desert tile, then when you use that ability, you would move that desert tile to another spot. Final thing you can do is you can bet on who is going to win the race overall. So like I said, you have each of these cards representing a different camel in the race. You can bet on who's going to win the race as a whole, or you can bet on who's going to lose the race as a whole. So if I think, okay, this green camel is going to be the winner, I would put this card face down in this pile right here. Anybody else who places a card after me betting on any camel is going to place it on top of my card. So we'll always know that the card that's the most on the bottom was the first person to place a bet, and then again it'll go obviously in order. So the second card is the second person to place a bet. You could also place the card on who you think is going to lose the race. And again, any cards placed on top of yours are going, any cards later placed onto that spot are going to be placed on top of the ones that are already there. We're going to keep on going around until all 5 dice have been rolled at various points in the round. And when the final die is rolled, we're going to move that camel, and then that'll be the end of the leg. So whenever that 5th die comes out, we're going to resolve that die, and then that's the end of the leg. You're going to get end of leg scoring. So each of these tiles that you have, again, you got these because you chose as your action to roll a die out of the pyramid. Each of these is going to be worth 1 coin. And you're also going to have bets that are paid off for the camels you bet on earlier. It is possible you would lose money instead of making money, in which case you're going to pay out money for the money you have. You'll notice there are 1s, 5s, and then you get into paper money. The rule for the game is you can stack your money on top of, money on top of each other, so people don't know exactly what bills you've got. So people just sort of have to keep track with their memory of how much money you've accumulated. And so at the end of the game, whoever has the most money wins. You could easily forget exactly how much money everybody has. All that matters is that they can see your stack, but they can't look through your stack. Maybe do it like that. So like I said, you're going to get paid out if you win. You could potentially net lose money. The only thing is you can't go into debt. So if the amount of money you lose would bring you below 0 coins, you just stop at 0 coins. When end of the leg scoring is done, we're going to take all these dice. We're going to put them back into the pyramid. We're going to take these cards. We're going to put them back here. We're going to take whatever leg betting tiles you had used and put them back in their initial spots in ascending order. Everyone's going to take their desert tiles, put them back into their hands. This is our start player marker. Whoever finished last, whoever was the player on which the leg ended on their turn, the next player is going to get the start player token, and they're going to go first in the next round. We're then going to go and keep on playing. At some point, one of these camels is going to cross the finish line. When that happens, that is the last turn of the game. The game is going to be over. We're going to do end of leg scoring again. So that'll happen a bit prematurely because presumably it's possible that not all 5 dice will be out. We'll do the end of leg scoring. But then we're also going to do end of game scoring. For end of game scoring, we've got this pile of cards that are here for the winner. that are here for the winner and that are here for the loser. Let's say this was our stack of cards from the winner's pile. We turn them over. Again, whoever's at the bottom, they bet on that camel first. So let's say orange was our winner. This guy who bet on green, you're going to lose a coin for being wrong. That's what the symbol down here, this X with -1 means. Whoever is the first player to bet on the camel that ended up winning, you get 8 coins. The second player who successfully bet on the camel that ended up winning is going to get 5 coins. So basically, this is going to be paying out fewer and fewer coins based on where in the process you bet on the winner. And every single camel that you got wrong, you're going to lose a coin for that one. So just like with the leg betting, you can bet on multiple camels to ultimately win the race. The penalty for being wrong is going to be -1 coin. The bonus for being right is going to be plus however many coins based on where you were in the order of players who bet on that camel. Then you're also going to similarly resolve the bets on whichever camel finished last. So again, whoever was the first player to correctly bet on the camel that finished dead last, or that is last at the time the winner was declared, you get 8 coins. Second player gets 5, then 3, etc. Every bet that was wrong, you're going to lose a coin for that. You're going to count up your pounds or your coins or your money. Whoever has the most money is your winner. If it's a tie, then the game ends in a tie. That's how you play Camel Up.